you, your family members, your friends, and your loved ones have plans of relocating to Canada as an international student, either coming alone or with your family, then this video is for you. Welcome back. I'm an international student here in Canada. In this video, I will be sharing with you the step-by-step process and all that you need to know in getting an admission and finally getting your visa that will bring you into Canada as an international student. It depends on you if you want to come alone or if you want to come with your family. I'll be giving my own experience and how it worked out. Please note in every explanation that I will be giving that I am not a licensed immigration officer. I'm not working for the immigration. Everything I'm saying here is based on my experience. But while watching this video, it will give you an idea, it will give you insight about how to go for your own visas. Also, what works for me might not work for you, as we all have different background. But generally, this video will go a long way to help you because it's very insightful and it's going to be very educative. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is to decide what would you want to study. What you would want to study depends on your highest educational qualification. So maybe you are a diploma holder. Your diploma could be your OND or your NCE certificate, HND or BSc. Masters, you need to analyze your current degree, your current qualifications before you put your mind to say, I want to go for this course. Now I have decided that I want to go for management, right? So the first thing you need to do now, after agreeing that you're going for a particular course, is to go onto Google. Go onto Google and just type designated learning institutions in Canada, or you type designated schools in Canada. This can be found on Google. You see it open on the IRCC website. So when you click on it, you'll see different schools will just pop out. There are several schools. Go through the schools, check out the school that is offering that program that you want. Okay, after you have seen a school, or you've seen like 2, 3, 4 schools that offer the program that you want, you can go ahead to check for other features. Like different schools have different school fees. You know, some schools might be a little bit cheaper than some, while others might be a little bit more expensive. So check the ones that are offering your program. Check if this particular school has a cheaper school fees. Check if this particular school have a lesser school fees. Anyways, it depends on your financial strength. You know, if finance is not a problem, you can just go ahead and choose any one of the schools. But if you want to look at the finance, you know, you don't want to spend too much, then you should take your time to really look for a school that is affordable, that is close to what you have, or at least the cheapest in that area. Also considering the province that you want. Now, when you get these schools already in that link, you just have to click on that school. When you click on that link, a new page will display, and when that page displays, then you can go ahead with your application and you will be asked to make an application fee. Most times, most schools would charge you, I think, about $100 for you to submit this application. So in your application process, they will ask you for your certificates, you know, based on what you're applying for. So you might need to submit your secondary school certificates, you might need to submit your BSc, you might need to submit your transcripts as well, and then you go ahead to submit the application. If you are going for a master's program, you could be asked to submit a study plan. Like in my case, I was asked to submit a study plan. So it brings us a question of what's a study plan. A study plan, it's just like a brief summary, you know, of why you want the school to give you that particular course and how the course will go a long way to help you achieve your goals and your careers in the future. So when you're done, you click on submit, and automatically you will need to put in your debit card or credit card details, and it's going to be deducted. Another thing I would want you to consider while you are choosing a course of study. Please note, because this will be needed when you are applying for your visa. You don't just wake up one morning and just say you want to go for this program. That was why I told you when I started this video that you really have to consider the course that you're going for with respect to what you're studying or your work experience. In other words, the course that you are currently going for now should relate to what you studied previously, and let there be a career advancement either by study or via work experience. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I studied business administration in my BSc. Now I'm going for masters in management. I did not go for postgraduate in business administration, because if I go for postgraduate in business administration, the visa officer definitely is going to deny my visa, because there is no career advancement from having a BSc in business administration and then you're going for a postgraduate in business administration. So the only sensible thing to do, the only positive thing to do is to go for masters in business administration. And as you can see, there is a career advancement, right? And also in my work experience, within the years after my study, most of the jobs I've been doing are basically management. It goes in line with my work experience, and it also goes in line with my education. And for those of you who do not have work experience, it's okay, as long as it goes in line with your education. The time lapse from when you graduated from your previous degree is not too long from the time you are applying for the new one, because if it is too lengthy, then your work experience has to come in, and when your work experience comes in, the course you're going for has to relate to that work experience. Yay! Okay, fast forward to 2 weeks time or 3 weeks time. Congratulations, you got your admission and your school has sent you messages, sent you mails that you have gotten your admission, and now they have given you all of the things you need to do for you to get your tuition receipts, which means money, ego. You need to make some deposits, and when you make some deposits and you pay some part of your school fees, because they will tell you the minimum amount of the school fees you need to pay as a first installment, so that they can give you your tuition receipts. So they will give you your tuition receipts and they will give you your offer letter. This is your letter of acceptance. These two documents is very, very important. Your admission letter, also called your letter of acceptance, and your tuition receipt. So these two things is what you will now use to move on to the second process. And what is the second process? The second process is applying in the IRCC website for your visa. It's very simple. Go to Google, go to your Chrome, go to your Safari, go to your Mozilla. Just type IRCC. It's very easy. So go to the IRCC website, just type IRCC and it's going to pop up. Choose the first one or the second one, as long as it's showing the IRCC website. You click on it, the page will display, and they will ask you to upload some documents. Among the documents that you could be asked to upload is, you'll be asked to upload your admission letter, which is your letter of acceptance. You'll be asked to submit your tuition receipts. This is a proof that you've made part payments or all of your school fees. They will ask for your statement account. Your statement of account is your bank statement, and it should have been built for like about 3 months before this day, like before this day that you want to apply for the visa. So if you have an old account that you have been running for a long time, it's okay. But if you don't have an old account, you have a new account, it's also okay. But the minimum bank statement is 3 months. Talking about your statement of account, there's a minimum required amount of money you need to have in your account. Only to the fact that you've paid some amount for your school fees, In this 3 months account statement, you who is the individual traveling to Canada as a student should have a minimum requirement of 10,000 Canadian dollars. Now, this 10,000 Canadian dollars is just the minimal requirement. That doesn't mean you cannot have above that. You can actually have above that. And if you want any member of your family, your spouse or your kids to come with you, then you need to have an additional 4,000 Canadian dollars for your spouse and $3,000 for each additional kid. So if you have 2 kids, you should have 3,000. If you have 4 kids, 3,000 times 4, just like that. So you knowing that you've paid maybe more than half of your school fees. If you have paid more than half of your school fees, like in my case, I basically paid all my school fees. Let's say my school fees was for 33,000 Canadian dollars. My school fees actually 33,500 Canadian dollars, and I paid 30,000 Canadian dollars. So I had just 3,500 Canadian dollars left to pay. I didn't worry myself about that because I know I have the opportunity to work and study to pay up for that. So in my own case, I had the opportunity of just putting in only 10,000 Canadian dollars because I didn't have plans for my family to come along with me. But I still went ahead to put a little bit above 10,000 Canadian dollars just to be on the safer side anyways. So that was what I did. Please don't forget the proof of fund. The proof of fund is so important. The proof of funds is evidence to show that you are financially buoyant, and money is not the main reason you are leaving your country to go to another country, in brackets Canada, for a better future. So the visa officers will need a very strong and solid proof of funds from you. So what are your proof of funds? Your proof of funds is your school fees tuition receipts. Okay, you see what very important, you need to pay your school fees, right? So your school fees receipt, your tuition receipt is your first proof of fund. Your second proof of fund is your account statement. That account statement that you need to show, right? It's your second proof of funds. Another important thing also when you will be applying for your visa is called family ties. Family ties is an evidence. It's something that you should show to the visa officer that I have a reason why I'm coming back home after my study. I have a reason to show to you that when my course program is ended, I'm coming back home to these people. These are my family ties. You know, so your family ties could be your mom, it could be your dad, it could be your siblings, it could be your cousins, it could be your nephew, it could be your niece. Even your landed properties, your company is there, you have landed properties, you have houses, you have a company that you're managing, and everything you're dropping should have documentations. Like if you're mentioning properties, documents, and houses, it should all be documented. Scan this, the certificate of incorporation and all of that, and attach it into your account. Statement of purpose. Remember in the first time when you were submitting to the school, what you submitted was a study plan that was to the school. Now this time around you have to submit a statement of purpose, also known as SOP. Now what is SOP? SOP, guys, you have to have a very good night's sleep. You have to concentrate and prepare your SOP properly, because your SOP is your selling point. If you prepare an SOP that is not right, that is not in line with what your reasons for admission and all of that, the visa officer is not going to listen to you. You have to prepare an SOP that is well convincing to the VO. The VO is the visa officer. The SOP should convince the visa officer why you are going for a particular course. It will convince the visa officer why you are choosing a particular school. It will convince the visa officer that at the end of your program, you are returning back home to your country and not to Japan and stay there forever. You have to convince the visa officer that you will stick to your words. You have to convince the visa officer that you are to be trusted. So guys, your SOP should be on point. Okay, so that's for your SOP. And what other documents? Okay, so if you want to go with your family, like you want your family to join you as you're traveling directly or to join you after some months, you also need to add documents of your family. So like your spouse or your kids, your spouse and kids. So there are international passports of your spouse and the international passport of the kids, as many kids as you have, then their passport pictures. So after you've uploaded all of these documents and then you send it in, I think after about 3 days, you will receive a request that you should go for your biometrics. Eligibility starts after 2 months. When I say eligibility, I mean when they'll start looking into your file to start analyzing. It will start 2 months after your application, and hopefully in 3 months, like mine took 3 months. I just woke up one morning, I checked my mail, I received a message saying that I should go for my medicals because I did not do my medicals up front. So in that message, they sent me the names of designated hospitals that I can go. They will send you some lists and you choose any of the hospitals in that list. So I chose one of the hospitals and I went for my medicals. After your medicals, it takes about 3 to 5 business days for your medical results to be updated into your IRCC account. Okay, so now 3 months after you submit, just like magic, just like good news, when you receive a message saying passport request, hey my people, you should be dancing because 99% when you hear passport request, oh, you should be so happy because passport request is a very, very big one. Passport request means, to me or to my own understanding, when they say passport request, it's 99% that they want to give you the visa, right? So when they say passport request, it means you have to take your passport to the VFS office for submission. You drop your passport there and then they'll ask you to put in the address where you want them to send your passport to, based on where you will be at that time, in case if you're not in a particular location, so that they'll send the passport to that place and they'll send it within a week. And then alas, within a week you get your passports sent to you by a courier service in that area that you're staying. And when that package comes, when that package lands, I shared that video with you. So if you have not watched that video, kindly go back. I'll put the link in the comment section or in the description section about the video how I unboxed my package when my visa arrived. And then when you open it, you'll see the Canada visa, international student, and all of that. Please note that one is just the visa. It is when you arrive Canada in Toronto, you will get your study permits. Without your study permits, you cannot move above the airport. Your study permit is what will give you access to leave the airport and move into Canada, start your studies, start working, have a good life for your family. And like I said, your family can come with you immediately or after some time. Also in my own case, like I'm giving a real example of my life, my family is not here because I'm not sponsoring them as at this time. They'll be joining me later. I'll also make another video when they join me to tell you how they join me, for the benefit of those ones that wouldn't be coming with their family like me, so that they can also know. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned a lot, and I wish you good luck in your visa applications. Remember to click on that subscribe button, smash that like button, subscribe and share the videos. I wish you good luck and bye.